Dear students, greetings for the day. Today we will study about ground staff operations. Ground crew or ground staff work in the aviation industry where they are engaged in various roles at the airport. Ground staff ensures the safety and comfort of passengers, including checking in baggage, providing information, assisting disabled passengers, confirming reservations, and selling tickets. Airport ground staff is a professional responsible for taking care of air passenger once their plane is grounded on the airport. He is to take care of every little work on the airport, right from taking care of the luggage from luggage carrier to cargo. Airport ground staff is also involved in the management of the airport, its security and maintenance. Airport ground staff must possess a calm and friendly personality, ability to handle people and their belonging to pressure conditions. Above all, airport ground staff must possess good health, energy, and stamina for working long and irregular hours, as they are responsible for every little work of the passenger once they are landed. Airport ground staff must have the ability to handle the situation in every condition, along with diplomatic abilities, the flexibility of attitude, great communication, and organizing skills, which are the most essential qualities needed for airport ground staff, as they spend much of their time in interacting with their passengers. Knowledge of more than one domestic and foreign languages can prove an added asset for an airport ground staff, as he has to meet people from different regions knowing different languages. Greeting and welcoming passengers, and responding to questions. Checking in baggage. Making reservations. Selling airline tickets. Stocking aircraft with refreshments. Cleaning aircraft after flights, assisting disabled passengers and those with small children, providing information to passengers. In aviation, the term ground handling refers to the wide range of services provided to facilitate an aircraft flight or aircraft ground repositioning, preparation for and upon conclusion of a flight, which will include both customer service and ramp service functions. Airport ground staff job description includes any kind of work required to safeguard the interests of the air passengers once her plane is landed on the airstrip. Their work starts with collecting baggages safely from the cargo, hand them over to the respective owners. Some ground staff is responsible for inspecting, storing and transporting luggage, while others stock the aircraft with food and beverage items that are distributed during flight. Airport ground staff work also include remaining directly in touch with customers to answer questions and provide information regarding flight times, delays and any general queries the customer has before boarding. Airport ground staff work with the aircraft, crew, and customers to ensure a safe and enjoyable journey for the passengers. Their job also includes management, maintenance as well as the security of airport and air passengers. They make it sure that the journey of the passengers remains hassle-free throughout their travel time. Checking passengers for flights. They are checking all the passenger and give them boarding pass and big luggage tag. The passengers whose flights have been cancelled or are delayed, rebook them or make a booking again. Helping those traveling with disabled passengers or small children. Give the passengers the latest information about the flights. Helping passengers in all inquiries, including lost or delayed goods or any requirement. When the situation arises, assist the staff in the security check and solve their problems in a short time. Providing high-level customer service for those traveling by passengers and the airport. handling all loading and unloading of passenger bags from the plane and send them for delivery to the passenger. Helping direct passengers to land in the airport and properly guide them. Directing the landing aircraft to the taxi spots. Providing services to the passenger at the arrival area, like steps from the aircraft for passengers and crew to disembark the aircraft. Technical role at the airport, coordination and management of employees around the aircraft during their stopover. Assign documents required for the flight to the captain of the aircraft. Preparation of flight planning, fuel, weather conditions, and other important information. Management of takeoff slots with air traffic organizations. Manage the airline network and bring the aircraft in time to the fleet. Ticketing. Although most passengers will arrive at the airport with tickets in hand, there are provisions at most terminals for on-the-spot purchase check-in. Electronic check-in kiosks have become prevalent in most major airports. However, there will still be customer service agents to assist passengers with the check-in process, to verify documentation, to tag and process their checked baggage and to ensure that cabin baggage conforms to regulated size, weight and content. Oversized baggage. Provisions will be available, usually at a secondary location, for the acceptance of oversized or very heavy baggage items. Baggage sorting. Bags will be electronically or manually sorted by flight and either loaded into unit load devices or placed on baggage trolleys in preparation for aircraft loading. Gate assignment. In coordination with the airport authority, aircraft gates will be assigned and the gate information relayed to the passengers. Lobby management. Passenger service agents will ensure that the appropriate number of check-in desks are available, staffed and have the appropriate identification signage as well as directing and controlling the flow of passengers in an orderly and efficient manner. Irregular operations. Customer service agents will be available to accommodate irregular operations requirements such as rebooking passengers who have missed connections or providing meal and accommodation vouchers, or alternate transportation arrangements. Special needs handling. Customer service agents will make arrangements for wheelchairs or other transport to the departure gate for mobility-impaired passengers and will process, safeguard and supervise any unaccompanied minors, from check-in to aircraft boarding and from aircraft deplaning to release to a parent or other authorized person. Lounge management. Where available, business and first-class lounges, available to qualified passengers, will be staffed and provisioned aircraft boarding. Ground agents will make appropriate boarding announcements, conduct final passenger screening and document verification and provide a final passenger manifest and customs documentation to the aircraft crew. If passengers must be bused to the aircraft or otherwise be compelled to walk on the ramp, ground agents will ensure passenger safety whilst on the ramp. Aircraft disembarkation. Ground staff will receive any inbound customs paperwork and accept arriving passengers at the aircraft and facilitate their transfer to the terminal building, dealing as necessary with issues arising from inbound delay or cancellation of connecting flights. Baggage services. Ground agents will assist with lost, misdirected or damaged baggage. Marshalling. The marshalling process at some aerodromes starts as the aircraft approaches the apron with the provision of a follow-me vehicle to guide the aircraft to its assigned parking stand. Refueling. Aircraft will be refueled to the requirements of the outbound flight as specified by the pilot in command or, in his absence, by the dispatcher. Specific protocols are in place in the event that refueling is to be accomplished with passengers remaining on board. Baggage and freight handling. Baggage and freight on the inbound aircraft will be offloaded using whatever specialized equipment necessary. Aircraft towing. Movement of an aircraft to or from a maintenance facility, a remote parking stand or from one gate to another will be accomplished on an as-required basis. Marshalling. As the aircraft approaches the stand, the vehicle relinquishes aircraft guidance to either electronic stand entry guidance systems or ground personnel to direct the aircraft to its final parked position. In many cases, wing walkers will work in conjunction with the marshaller or guidance system by controlling ramp traffic and to helping to mitigate any wingtip clearance hazard. On departure, a marshaller will assist in engine start, confirming that the area around the engine is clear of hazards and watching for indications of an engine fire. Should a fire occur, the marshaller will advise the crew by interphone or by using emergency hand signals. Wing walkers will also be provided when the aircraft is to be pushed off stand. Chocking and connection, disconnection of ground services. Once the aircraft is on stand, wheel chocks will be inserted and external services such as passenger bridges or boarding stairs, ground electrical service and ground air conditioning units will be positioned or connected as required. As the departure time approaches, these items will be disconnected and removed as directed by the flight crew. Toilet and water servicing. Toilet waste holding tanks will be emptied and serviced as required. Potable water tanks will be refilled. Baggage and freight handling. Baggage and freight on the inbound aircraft will be offloaded using whatever specialized equipment necessary, such as baggage belts, split loaders and fork trucks, and the outbound bags and freight will be loaded on the aircraft. Care must be taken to ensure that loading of aircraft with cargo is accomplished in accordance with the load planner's loading instructions and that dangerous goods are correctly handled. Pushback. Where required, ground equipment will be utilized to move the aircraft off stand at departure. Aircraft cleaning. The cabin, lavatories and galley counter surfaces will be cleaned. Garbage containers will be emptied and the contents removed from the aircraft. Toilets will be restocked. Passenger comfort items such as pillows and blankets will be replaced as required and, where applicable, newspapers will be brought on board. Catering. The catering trolleys and oven inserts from the inbound flight will be removed and the catering for the outbound flight boarded. Galley and bar stock will be replenished. High-pressure air. In some circumstances, such as in the case of an unserviceable auxiliary power unit, APU, a high-pressure air cart may be required to start at least one of the aircraft engines. Provision of documents. Prior to departure, the flight crew will be provided with the appropriate documentation inclusive of a fuel uplift receipt, the completed aircraft load and trim form or, if the crew completes their own load and trim, the certified loading instruction form, LIF, freight manifests and the appropriate notifications for any dangerous goods. De-icing. When required, either or both aircraft ground anti-icing and engine core and fan anti-icing will be carried out. Engine core de-icing is most often accomplished at the parking position, whereas aircraft de-icing may be done either in situ or at a remote facility. Maintenance. Whilst the aircraft is on the ground, engineers will also perform routine inspections, rectify minor maintenance issues and make the appropriate entries in the aircraft technical log. Flight crews will perform a pre-flight inspection of the aircraft in preparation for flight. Ground handling services may be provided by airline employees or by third-party contractors. A large airline may still use its own employees for virtually all ground handling functions at its main base, with the possible exceptions of refueling and catering if this is judged to be cost-effective. At outstations where there are fewer company flights, more services will be subcontracted and the number of company-employed personnel will frequently be minimal, potentially reduced to limited engineering cover or to a single, part-time company representative. Nowadays, many airlines subcontract to majority of their ground handling services. General aviation flights will usually use an airport fixed base operator, FBO, for their ground handling requirements. Inherent risks. The inherent risks in the ground handling process, especially for ramp services, are numerous. Tasks may be carried out in a high-noise, high-traffic area, both in daylight and in darkness, in all weather conditions and in all extremes of temperature. Various types of large machinery working in close proximity, the handling of flammable liquids and dangerous cargo, and working at heights during the loading, catering and refueling of large aircraft all pose their own perils. The following is a non-exhaustive list of some of the inherent risks that could be encountered whilst providing ground handling services to an aircraft. Personal injury. There is almost no limit to the potential causes for injury to ground handling personnel. Falls, lifting-related injuries, contact with moving vehicles or equipment can all result in injury. Appropriate vigilance, safety equipment, high-visibility clothing, and training all play a role in injury prevention. Aircraft damage. Damage is frequently caused by ground support equipment striking the aircraft. Installation of safety devices, such as proximity switches and auto-levelers on air bridges, and appropriate use of a guide whilst maneuvering vehicles in proximity of the aircraft will help avoid such damage. Refueling and defueling risks. Equipment malfunction, incorrect procedures or distraction can all lead to a fuel spill or fuel fire. Vehicle collision. There are numerous vehicles, serving different purposes, moving in close proximity to the aircraft and to each other. Ramp conditions, distraction or inattention and failure to use a guide where appropriate, can all lead to collision. Fire. Fire can result from a fuel spill, a vehicle collision, or the malfunction of either an aircraft system or a ground support vehicle. To help mitigate these risks, improve safety and optimize efficiency, various organizations provide specialized training, for example ramp resource management courses, to supplement the job and safety training provided to ramp workers by their respective employers.